Bezos Hashem, today we'll be learning Daf Lamed Hey and Beis. We're continuing Torah Chaf Gimel. Till now we learned that there is a bechina of chayim, of life, and the opposite of that is bechina of death. There's Anpin Moharan, which is a lit up face, and there's Anpin Chashaychin, is a dark face, and so on and so forth. There's a bunch of positive bechinas and negative bechinas, and the positive bechinas all depend on Amunah. And the opposite of Amunah is when a person has Taivas Mammon, which is an Avodah Zarah, the Rebbe says, which contains within it all Avodah Zarahs. When a person doesn't have Amunah, that Hashem is able to be mefarnes him in any way, and he thinks he needs to come out to Yigiyas Gedolos in order to acquire his parnasa, that is an avodah zarah which is kailul all of the avodah zarahs. And someone who falls into Taivas Mammon, then even the parnasa which he has, it's b'tzavan techalana. He's full of atzvus and daigus and nervousness when it comes to learning, when it comes to his parnasa. I said the way to be zeiche, to fix that, is through working on Yamuna, through Shmir Bris. We said Bris, Melech Olam. Bris is like a melech, like salt, which is mamtik, which sweetens the suffering of this world. The suffering of this world is mainly the chasing after our parnasa and the daigas of parnasa. And through Tikkun Bris, a person has a koyach to be machnia his taivas for mammon. So he said also that there are other skulas which help to be machnia taivas mammon, and one of them is mezuzah. We said that the word mezuzah has in it the word zuz, which is the word in the Gemara for coin. That through mezuzah, and that's why in Kriya Shema, in the pasuk which is Keneged Le'Sachmoid, is a mitzvah mezuzah. Then the Rebbe adds now on Lamed Hey Beis, that's why the kfiyas of mezuzah. Where do we put a mezuzah? We put it in the top third of the doorpost. Chazal say that a person should take his money and split it in three ways, and the top third is you should invest it in business, in pragmatia, which is masa matan. So you see that we know that Chazal say that the first shaila that we're asked Lachamei Vesrim is nasata v'nasata be'amuna. Did you do your masa b'matan be'amuna? So you see that the ikar masa b'matan is be'amuna. So that means the ikar pragmatia is be'amuna, means a shlish, the third, ha'elyon, the highest third, is the most important, should be done in amuna, and that's why the mezuzah is in the highest third of the door. Then it continues and says that every mitzvah, that person is not ready to lose money in order to perform the mitzvah. That means he's ready to do the mitzvah, but he's not ready to lose money. That is called tzedek, meaning it's just a person who goes according to the letter of the law, and he says he's ready to do a mitzvah, but he's not ready to lose his money. That's called tzedek. But if a person is ready to lose money in order to perform a mitzvah, that means he has amunah, he's going with amunah. And that's Pshat HaPasuk, Tzavisa Tzedek Edesecha, V'amunah Ma'oid. That when you have tzedek, a person who has a madrig of tzedek is a person that is ready to do mitzvahs but not to lose. And the higher madriga is a person who's ready to even lose to do a mitzvah. So now going back to the story of the Sefer Devei Atuna. The Sefer Devei Atuna asked Yeshua, tell us a lie. So he said, I'll tell you a lie, that I had a mule, a preda, that gave birth. So I said to him, could a preda give birth? And he said that was a lie. So what's this preda? A preda is also the word parud, which means separate, which is the word of Avodah Zarah. Chazal say about Avodah Zarah, sim peruda, something which separates. So they said, tell us a lie. He said, I had an Avodah Zarah, which Avodah Zarah is mainly Taivas Mammon, and so he said, tell us something about Avodah Zarah. tell us a sheker. A sheker is avodah zarah, because avodah zarah is somebody, like the pasuk says, ha'emer goy lehim, that a person switched the emes Hashem for avodah zarah, and that's a lie. So they said, tell us about avodah zarah. He said, avodah zarah had a child, like a mule that gave birth, a prey that gave birth. That means there was a revach. Someone had a revach from Taivas Mammon. The lie that he told them was that through Taivas Mammon a person could have a revach. And he said back to them, and they said back, it can't be, there's no such thing. He said, Taka, that's a lie. And not only that, this preda had a petek, a note, around its neck that said that he owes, his father is owed Mea Elav Zuzi. So this is a chayvis. The Rebbe says if someone has Taivas Mammon, is always full of chayvis, and he dies b'chayvis. And even while he's alive, he's full of chayvis. It doesn't necessarily always mean that it's a chayv of he actually owes money to people, he owes money to the bank. But it's that the Taivas Mammon makes a person have an attitude, and makes him have a whole approach to Parnasa as if it's a chayv. He owes money. Who does he owe it to? He owes it to himself. He owes it to his Taivas. And Mimeli is always running after money, even if he has enough money. Even if he has enough money, but he still wants more money as if it's a chayv. And so they asked for another lie, and he said, if salt would become spoiled, how do you salt it? How do you fix it? Means they asked him. He asked them, someone who's masakin his bris. It means he has melech. If he still fell into Taivas Mammon, what should he do? So he said back with the sack, the birth sack of a mule, of a preda, silusa de chanaisa, shilya of a preda. So the Rebbe says that this is meramas on a deep way of being misaken Taivas Mammon by looking at the sharish of Taivas Mammon, because everything in the world has a sharish. Every taiva lamaila has a sharish, and lamaila the money actually comes from a very haliga place. When it's mishtash lamata, so that's why it looks like it falls into a taiva. But afapichein, the Rebbe says that even if a person would be misakin his Taivas Mammon like this, in order to even get to the point that you're able to see the money really comes from a much higher place, you also have to have shmiras a bris and tikkun a bris. And that's what he said. Is it possible ikashali the preda? Is it possible that there's a base shali? Is it possible that there's a base of vlad, this birth sack, for avodah zarah? So he says, and he answered back, could salt spoil? Because that's my point. He's saying that a person has misakin his bris, that he has all the skulas and all the yicholis and all the abilities to be misakin his, not to fall into Taivas Mammon, so he won't. Then and the Rebbe says, provided it's pshat pasuk anshi damim umirma lo yechzi yameim, and people who have damim umirma and they have Taivas Mammon, they go after damim. And mirma, which and also it's the idea of machlekes. Anshe dama mirma, the people are of the idea of machlekes, because we said before in the previous summit that people who fall into machlekes and they're cholik and tzadikim, they become a oyev. The Kodesh Baruch Hu is mapel them into Taivas Mammon. So anshe dama mirma, people who are into machlekes, who fell into Taivas Mammon, lo yechzi yameim. They're not zeich to chetzi tavas biyadai, because the Chazal say ein adam meitz v'chetzi tavas biyadai. The chetzi tavasai is referring to the Taivas Mammon that a person always has. Lo yechzi yemei, they'll never be masik the Taivas. The Kodesh Baruch Hu is mapelam in Taivas. The Rebbe continues that people who are meshuka in Taivas Mammon, the more riches they have, the more daigas they have, the more atzvus they have, the more shchar they have, because everything they have is b'tzavan tachalana. All the parnasa they have, when a person goes with emunah, then all the parnasa he comes with simcha, and comes with chayim, and comes with anpin nahirin. When a person has taivas mammon, and even the parnasa which he has is ba'atzvus or daigas and marashchoyer, and that's what Chazal say marba nechasa marba daiga. That's why mammon v'ashiris, when a person has taivas mammon, that as it shortens a person's days and destroys a person's days, and it causes him to lose his days ba'atzvus, va'atzvus, and daigas. And because he's connected to, like we said, the Anpin Chashaychin, the Panim the Sidracha, instead of the Panim the Kedusha. He's connected to Elim Mechirim, to Avodah to Choshech, which is Misa, which is all the Hepech of the Arpanei Melech, which is when a person who's Zeichet to connect himself to Emunah is Zeichet to all that. And that's so the money is killing him, because money is like Misa, which is Atzvus. And that all comes from Taivas Mammon. Mashenka, a person goes to Emunah, and even if he's Ovid, even if he works and he's in Parnasa, and whatever he does for Parnasa is always together with Chaim and Simcha and Or.